Hey yo, what's happening guys? It's your boy Nick Chae. Today we have a very special guest on the channel. This is Willem.
I can't stop smiling.
So Willem runs his own YouTube channel where he does a lot of photography tutorials, a lot of film photos. He's also a photography student at Parsons. So why don't you tell us about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm a sophomore at Parsons, studying photo. Moved here from Europe, so I've been in New York now for 2 years, and I do a YouTube channel about film photo, about fine art photography.
So today we're going to be talking about how to create content while you are in school. I know this is a question that gets brought up a lot, especially with other academics or extracurriculars and other things that you have going on. It's hard to find time to do the things that you're passionate about, but both of us have, realized that it is feasible to do, especially with, a Princeton degree or even a Parsons degree. You're still able to create content, not just for your classes, but also just stuff that you're passionate about. So Willem actually just came out with his first zine. It's still on sale. No?
Couple copies.
I'll have it linked down below. Make sure to go check that out if you guys are interested. It's super sick.
First of all, I think it's dope that we are both in school and both doing YouTube videos. I think that's why this is perfect between us to talk about.
Alright, so first off, we're going to be jumping into time management. Obviously, this is probably the most important factor of creating content while you're in college. Why don't you tell us about how you manage your side projects with your work?
Yeah, I mean, that's literally the toughest part. I mean, I think I'm lucky that I'm in a financial position where I can also afford to not have a day job and I just freelance work outside of school. In terms of like schoolwork and creative work, like that's literally the toughest challenge in my life, is trying to find that balance, and I'm sure you feel the same.
So for me, I feel like the way I will allocate my time is prioritizing what is important at that moment. So I bring this example up a lot, but if it's midterms week or finals week, obviously that's going to be the priority. To be honest, it's finals week right now. And I'm still
and we're doing this.
But you just have to figure out what is going to be the most important factor in your life, especially for your own specific career. Obviously, if you're going into pre-med, then your GPA and studying for finals is way more important than people like us who need to upload videos on a consistent basis. And prioritizing that and really taking a step back and reflecting on your own goals and your own values is what's going to be the most efficient thing.
It's different in art school because I'm there to learn and improve my art per se. I'm not there to go get the grades,
Sure.
So for me, it's prioritizing, like you said, what's important at the moment. I try to upload on Sunday, so if I have schoolwork to do on the weekends, I'll push that off to upload on that Sunday, and then just after that, just try to get all that schoolwork out of the way.
Because if you make a commitment, especially to your viewers or someone, that you're gonna upload this, like for photography, if you have to get edits done for the client, then that's what's most important at that moment.
Yeah, I think, especially with the client stuff too, but I think I've done 20 videos Sundays at 11 a.m. now for the past 20 weeks or so.
So if you're in a routine of that, then you have to stay to it.
Really, it is routine because you know when your classes are, you know what work you have to do for your classes, and then you know when the video has to be done.
People think it's so hard and that you need some kind of secret formula, but it's really not. Professors give you the syllabus at the beginning of the year, knowing when your exam and your essays are going to be due, that if you plan around that, there's no excuse not to create content. I hate hearing people saying, I don't have time, I don't have money, I don't have blah blah blah. I could give you answers for all of them. You don't have time, make time.
I agree that if you look at your Instagram thing right now, you have probably an hour or 2 hours spent on Instagram. That's time
to be creating.
I know. I feel like we overly
emphasize
that we're busy nowadays. If you ask anyone at school, how are you doing right now? It's just, busy.
But what are you really busy with? Spending hours on Netflix, dilly-dallying to do this or that? How do you feel that going to an art school for an education is valuable for you?
It's tough to justify it because art is a very personal, subjective thing, and to say I'm going to go study that is difficult. But at the same time, at art school, everybody there has all the resources you could possibly want to make your art with, It basically removes
the barrier of financial capital needed.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're spending a ton of money to go there, but
the return on that investment is you have the materials.
If you put in the work. That's my biggest thing about art school is it's all about what you make out of it. If you're constantly there making use of the equipment, the facilities, the studios, you know, then you're gonna really benefit from that tuition that you're paying.
Sure.
Whereas if you're like just doing the minimum work to get through your classes, and like it's like, what's the point of going to art school, you know?
Okay, moving on to our second point, I think a big beneficial help when it comes to creating content when you're at school is to find other creative people and a community to work with, because that's going to foster this sense of networking and relationship that you can build with other people while you're working with them, so that you don't feel like you're a lone wolf. So, you know, doing this sit-down video with Willem, going for photo shoots with other creative people, just ignites that like flame inside of you to want to do better, want to make cooler projects, especially when you're working with other creative people in the same or even different talented fields. It's just like you have this synergy, you have this like good vibes going that you just want to just keep doing more.
Yeah, dude, art school is a network of people who are just creative as well, and who just are in the same position, and being around that is super inspiring.
It's like you're almost to the point where like if you don't do something, you feel like you're almost missing out.
Yeah.
Or you're like doing a disservice to yourself that you're not going out and creating,
totally.
when there's other people out there who are in the same position, have the same resources as you, but they are doing more. And that's, you just got to be hungry for that. At that point, you just got to be more competitive.
I mean, you also don't need to go to art school to meet those people.
That is true.
Like, we didn't meet at school.
Funny story, we met, how do we, at the
368.
368. We met at 368, so shout out to 368 for bringing creatives together.
It actually, yeah.
No, I actually
Facts,
did,
yeah.
facts. And then I got my tattoo.
Oh,
Remember
shit,
that?
true.
And so as far as like meeting new creatives or networking, I will honestly say that Instagram and social media is a great way to get started. If you see someone else who is in similar fields, even like nearby location, shooting them a quick DM, hey, I would love to collaborate sometime on a video or a photo shoot, is just a very simple way to get the ball rolling and starting a new friendship that otherwise wouldn't have happened. And if you're limited on a campus such as Princeton, or definitely not Parsons, where you don't feel like you can find other creative people to inspire yourself with, then maybe you're looking at the wrong places. Maybe you need to branch out and try different social networks or find different friendships that will help foster that creativity.
Yeah, totally agree. Like, no matter where you are, there is like-minded people who are trying to do similar things to you. You just have to find them, and that could be through art school, but it equally can happen through social media and through just real life events.
Okay, moving on to our third and final point about creating content in school and in college is you need to be in that hustle mindset. You need to be your own entrepreneur. You need to be making a business out of yourself and your own personal brand that will then cross over into your creative endeavors. And that amalgamation, that combination of your business and your creative sides are going to be what makes you a successful artist and a creative in the field. Both of us know what it's like to be an entrepreneur because we're constantly dealing with brand emails, sponsorships, working with other people on client work. First off, all of that helps you build up your portfolio, which is pretty important. And number two, helps you legitimize yourself as your own entity and business and brand identity, that you're able to leverage that with other brands so that you really don't have to be working a 9-to-5 job because you're able to pull in deals with sponsorships. And so, you know, we're talking from a specific point of being a YouTuber, but let's say you're a photographer. There are dozens of watch companies looking for product photos or influencer photos that you can easily reach out to, and they would be happy to send you over a product in exchange for some photos. Do you have any insight on that?
Honestly, the biggest learning experience for me was just working for free, which sounds ridiculous and is really frustrating at first, but the first year and a half that I was in New York, I had money saved up and I just worked my ass off for free for other YouTubers. You know, I reached out to a ton of people. I was like, hey, look, I'm a filmmaker. I can help you film your videos. I can put in the time. I have these time slots free. Super straightforward with it. Be clear and know what you can offer to them. And that's how I learned.
You just gotta find how you can bring value to other people and what benefit they will get from hiring you, basically.
Exactly.
And offering your time for free, like he said, it is frustrating, but you'll learn so much.
Time is precious during school when you're doing a degree also, and at points it will sacrifice a little bit of your degree, 100%. I sacrificed classes and stuff, and I sacrificed some grades to be able to do the things I do in my free time. So just making sure that I knew what I was doing with my free time so that it wasn't wasted.
That's a big point, and I think the point that we'll end on is that there are going to be sacrifices that will have to be made when it comes down to it. No matter how much we talked about time management, you're still not going to really be able to fulfill your degree to the fullest extent of, making sure that you're learning all the material right down to its core and fulfilling client work or other projects on top of that. So there are going to be sacrifices that are going to have to be made, but that's a question that you have to ask for yourself. That's not something that we can answer, because we have our own goals and ideas and ambitions in our minds that we're making those sacrifices because we're being smart and strategic about our time, and we realize that at the end of the day, it's what will bring the most value and return on your investment of your time, whether it's investing that in your education or your content creation.
Yeah, just put in the time. Working for free is my biggest,
For sure, I agree on that.
And make sure you're learning out of it too. Don't put in time for
no reason.
For no reason.
And you have to be enjoying it at least.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, that about wraps it up for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to go check out Willem's channel down below. I will have it linked. He does great videos about photography and film, so if any of that sounds interesting, make sure to go check him out. Guys, we actually also filmed a second video on Willem's channel talking about art school and whether or not that is going to be worth it. So if you're interested in that, we will have that linked down below as well. Subscribe for more videos, and as always, don't stress, finesse.
Peace.